The PlayStation 4 exclusive in Days Gone has just had a ton of information revealed about it thanks to the guys over at Game Informer that have a great exclusive on the game. In this video, we've rounded out some of the biggest new bits of information about the game, the studio, etc. And we're gonna be going over it. We have 13 huge new things that you need to know about Days Gone, so let's just get right into this. Number 1, so I've mentioned a lot that Days Gone is being developed by Sony Bend Studios, and they've created some great games. Lastly, they did Uncharted Golden Abyss, the PlayStation Vita title, back in 2012, and Days Gone was in the works for the last 5 years. The first idea for the game came after making Uncharted Golden Abyss, and there are over 100 developers working on the game, and the team in Sony Bend has doubled in size since 2016. Number 2, so Days Gone is this open world game, and of course, one word that can be associated with open world is content. Days Gone is said to be approximately 30 hours long on the quote golden path. The game itself is broken up into multiple chapters. There are flashback missions where you learn about Deacon, the main character's past with Sarah. However, there are no fetch quests or time trials. Expect everything in the game to have some sort of context, and expect everything you do to have some sort of meaning.
That's really interesting. Now, there were wolves there last time, John, and these wolves would pursue you down this road, and then Deacon had to turn his back, shoot a wolf.
Number 3, let's talk about some story elements. So the game itself picks up several years after a pandemic has ravaged the United States. The plot is more about surviving rather than actually finding a cure for the freakers. In the game's world, there are no rumors of a place free from infection. This is a global epidemic. Throughout the game, you'll learn the origin of the infection, and the world is not salvageable. And this shouldn't come as too much of a shocker, but you can't do a zero-kill playthrough.
Like it was gonna stop anything. When the feds ran out of body bags.
Dig, rope.
And some of us sort of lost our minds.
I think it's dead.
Some lost more than that. Much more.
Number 4, customizability is actually going to be a big aspect in Days Gone, especially when it comes to the bike. The bike is completely upgradable with cosmetic upgrades such as paint jobs, and can increase fuel efficiency and durability, swap out tires based on weather. Unfortunately, the bike can and will break down throughout the game, so that is something you'll have to be aware of. And the enemies are not stupid. If you're on your bike, they can hear you. There are, however, better muffler on the motorcycle that gives noise suppression for better stealth, and you'll have to find it on your own. Other upgrades also include exhaust upgrades, speed boost, and handling. There will be motorcycle chases. There will be no sidecar for the motorcycle. The tires can unfortunately also pop, and you do get points for doing stunts, so a little bit of an extra element in the game as well. And you can also communicate with your home base while on your bike.
No, that ain't him. Oh, come on. Oh, crap. Come on.
Number 5, Deacon St. is the main character of Days Gone, and he's the only playable character. Sony Bend has stated that you will end up caring about Deacon. He's a good guy and a funny guy. Not only is the bike upgradable, but Deacon is also upgradable in terms of stamina, health, and time slowdown. Deacon has a unique vision called the Survival Vision, which highlights items of interest and can be upgraded to highlight enemies. He can swim, but doesn't in the game for narrative reasons, so they didn't go into that. He will just have his own set outfit. There's going to be no outfit customization. And of course, while Deacon is the only playable character, there will be other characters for you to engage with. He actually has a mercenary friend named Boozer, and stealing Boozer's stuff will make him upset, which will affect your relationship throughout the game. Deacon also has the ability to scout camps with binoculars, and he is the enforcer of a bike club called the Mongrels.
Dynamic event that can happen or not. It just depends on when you're playing the game.
Interesting.
And this time Deacon saw the ambush and he was able to avoid it, so he kind of comes up and around and behind them.
So does weather impacts whether these creatures show up or not?
Number 6, so maybe you or you've heard Days Gone described as a zombie survival game. Well, the word zombie actually never appears in the game. They are called freakers. There are hordes of freakers scattered throughout the world, and the freaker bear from the E3 2017 demo, the Ravager, that's both a boss fight and a general enemy throughout the game. Freakers are drawn to dark places such as tunnels and will make nests. The only way to clear Freaker nests is via Molotovs, gas cans, and oil drums. As far as how many zombies will be seen on screen, a 300 zombie horde is a baby horde, and the E3 2016 demo actually had 500 zombies. And keep in mind that the hordes themselves need to eat, sleep, drink, and travel in groups.
Oh, shit.
Number 7, of course, to fight off these freakers, you are going to need a wide array of weaponry, and there will be a variety of weapons such as shotguns, sniper rifles, Molotov cocktails, pistols, LMGs, grenades, and napalm. Stats are tracked like how many freakers you've killed, weapons look worn down because of the rain, and weapon lockers and safe houses will refill ammo throughout the game's world.
Marauders, everything. There's a logic to it. You can track why they're doing the things that they're doing, and you can use it to your advantage in the gameplay. That's kind of what I like about this so much.
And that's really what we wanted to showcase this year, is that it's an open world game. And, you know, everything you see around here, and again, we're only playing this 2 different ways. You saw that waterfall way up there off in the distance. There's a bridge that goes in front of that. If you had a sniper rifle and enough ammunition, you could have driven your bike all the way up there.
Number 8, speaking of the world, let's talk about it. Days Gone does feature an open world that has fast travel. You'll find radio towers that you'll be able to climb. Lots of collectibles are said to be around the world. There are massive metropolitan areas in the game, larger towns to explore, and there are 12 checkpoints for quarantining and processing people, but now abandoned. 5 encampments are also in the world, which Deacon goes between and has to forge relationships in each one of them. As far as the fast travel itself goes, you'll have to clear out a location before you can fast travel to it, so keep that in mind. And you can, quote, kind of choose allegiances. Ambush camps will attack you on roadside. They're known as marauders. Ambush camps are bad, encampments are good, so keep that in mind. The currency that's going to be throughout the world is going to be camp credits, and there are also dogs in the world, so that's going to be very exciting. Of course, that was pretty evident from the get-go. There will be freaker bounties, hunting animals, and camps to clear as far as extra content goes.
Easy, fellas. There he is. Still alive. How the hell am I?
Number 9, of course, a talking point with Days Gone is, first of all, this is a visually stunning game, and second of all, they are trying to cram so many zombies on screen. How is the game going to run? Well, it is going to be running at 30 frames per second on the base console, and even with the PlayStation 4 Pro enhancements, it is going to be running at 30 frames per second, but at checkerboard 4K. And also exciting, this has kind of been typical with PlayStation 4 exclusives. There's, quote, sort of a photo mode in the game. Director John Garvin says it's not quite in it yet, but it is something they're planning for with the full release. Number 10, Days Gone is a purely single-player experience. If you're looking for any multiplayer in the game, you will be sorely disappointed. I think that's for the best. We've been talking a lot about whether or not single-player experiences are here to stay. Here's another massive game in Days Gone, purely a single-player game, and I imagine it'll be a pretty damn good one at that. Number 11, the game does not end after you complete it. There will be post-game content, and you can keep playing the game after you finish. And as far as the trophies go, of course, we don't have an exact trophy list at this point. There are going to be lots of, quote, punny and jokey trophies, so that's something to look forward to as well. Maybe that'll mellow out some of the more serious moments in the game, as it does look like a pretty serious game. Number 12, if you're hoping for any more information on Days Gone anytime soon, you might be a little bit disappointed. The game will not have a big showing at E3 of this year. I don't think that makes a lot of sense anyway, since we got this huge info dump on it now thanks to Game Informer. Let's hold off on anything major at E3 and focus on other games then. But the game itself was originally scheduled for a release late 2018. It has been delayed until 2019, but it is scheduled sometime early 2019. I don't know how much credence you want to put towards that window, but that window is there right now. And finally, number 13, Days Gone is a very atmospheric, very absorbing game, so the music is going to be a very big element to it. Well, they've got a great composer in Nathan Whitehead who did the music for The Purge as well, so hopefully they create a very atmospheric and absorbing world in Days Gone. So far from what we've seen, that does seem to be the case. So that is going to conclude 13 huge new things that we learned about Days Gone. What do you think? Are you excited for the game now, or are you not yet completely sold? I don't know how you can't be sold. You've got the amazing visuals, the story looks very interesting. You've got Sony Bend Studios working on it. I think this could be a great PlayStation 4 game coming in 2019. Sound off with your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.